So you've managed to get yourself $1,000 deposited in the bank of your choosing. Congratulations. This is a monumentous occasion because where you go from here will absolutely determine if you're going to be on your steps to financial freedom or if you're going to be on the downtrend of accumulating more debt in your future and not making any financial progress. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is to give a little bit of guidance to the people who may have saved $1,000 already or plan on saving $1,000 in the future, and exactly what options that you should have in order to use your money and use your savings habits the most efficiently so that you get on the road to building some real wealth in the future. So if we haven't met already, my name is Anfernee, and if you think you find any kind of value in this video, then go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. But to get right into the first thing that you should do once you have $1,000 in the bank, or what your first option could be once you have $1,000 in the bank, and that is going to be investing in yourself. Now, investing in yourself can mean many things to different people, but what investing in yourself means to me is investing in your education. And because I am a personal finance channel, I'm not talking about going to get a college degree. I'm talking about investing in your financial literacy, investing in a knowledge of knowing how to invest, learning how to invest, learning where to spend your money or how to start a business. And I think that one of the best bangs for your buck in this area would be by investing in books. And now I know in this digital age, there's a lot of people who think that books are for old timers who don't really see the appeal of sitting down and turning a page in a book. However, from my personal experience, I have received some of the best advice that I have ever received in my life written from books. So if you have $1,000 and you're looking for what next steps to take financially, I would definitely recommend setting aside $50 or $60 to start reading books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, Financial Freedom. All of these books provide valuable perspectives from people who have already taken their financial freedom journey and have chosen to share what expertise they have in the form of writing a book. Now you can also invest in yourself through the form of online courses. I think that that is a very valuable tool that you can use as well, if and only if you find an online course that provides a lot of value for the person actually purchasing it. Nowadays, every single creator seems to offer an online course, but not every single creator offers the same value as some of the other creators. So if you follow a creator who offers an online course and they have some very good testimonials, I believe that once you have $1,000 in the bank, you could realistically spend $300 to $400 investing in one of those online courses and starting your knowledge journey that way. When I first got started in this YouTube channel, I invested in one of those online YouTube growth courses in order to grow my channel, and since then I make more money a month on YouTube than I paid for that course 2 or 3 years ago. But moving on to the next thing that you can do once you have $1,000, and that is going to be by paying off debt. And paying off debt in itself is a good goal for anyone to have. I have been making a lot of videos recently about the benefits of paying off debt, and I truly believe that if you want to build some real wealth, if you want to get on the road to being a millionaire, one of the first steps that you should take is to get out of debt and to stay out of debt, because the more interest that you're paying out to other people, the less money that you're keeping in your pocket. So if you have $1,000 in the bank, I wouldn't necessarily recommend you use the entire $1,000 to pay off debt, but if you do have some high interest credit card debt, then you should consider using $500 of it to make a lump sum payment towards some of your high interest debt. Because no matter what you invest in, no matter what you want to do, if you're paying someone 20 to 30% in interest every single year, the likelihood that you will make greater than 30% interest from your investments is extremely slim. So getting out of debt, and high interest debt in particular, should be one of your first and highest priorities. And then moving on to the next step, let's say you're comfortable with your debt, and I know a lot of people that are, or you just may not be ready to part with the money that you saved up in the form of paying out to debt collectors. So what you can do in this scenario is contribute to your Roth IRA. Now, a Roth IRA has a lot of benefits, and one of the biggest benefits that I've talked about on this channel a lot is that once you contribute your money, you are allowed to withdraw the money that it grows to after you invested it over a long period of time, tax-free. But one of the other benefits that a Roth IRA has is that it also acts as an emergency fund, in that you can withdraw the contributions that you have in your Roth IRA at any point without any penalties. So for example, if you contributed $1,000 to your Roth IRA and that $1,000 grew to $1,500 in a single year, you are still allowed to have access to that $1,000 that you initially contributed, even though you can't take the extra $1,000 in growth out without penalties. And also, by starting your Roth IRA now, you'll be taking advantage of the current year's contributions, because once this tax year is over, you are not allowed to go back and contribute more, because government puts a limit on how much you can contribute to your Roth IRA. But if you are more of an ambitious type, I believe that instead of contributing to a Roth IRA, a more effective way that you can use your $1,000 you have in the bank is by starting a business for yourself. Now, $1,000 when you get started with a business can seem like a very large or a very small amount of money depending on what kind of business that you're getting into. Let's say you're getting started in a content creation business. $1,000 realistically could get you everything that you needed in order to start a $1 million YouTube channel. Most of the time, YouTubers just tend to rinse and repeat content, and there's not a lot of overhead in terms of how much each video costs. So if you use your $1,000, you could buy a decent microphone for $100. The microphone I'm using now is a Blue Yeti, and I believe it cost me $79 to $100 back when I bought it. You can also use the rest of the money to buy a DSLR. The camera that I'm using now, because my other camera broke, is about $400, but if you want a more premium camera like the one I just bought, you can spend anywhere from $800 to $900, which still falls below your $1,000 budget. The thing with starting a business is that you want to have a clear objective of what you want to get out of it before you even start spending money. And by having a detailed plan of how you plan to make money, it will give you a much better sense of direction of where you should start and where you should spend your money, rather than going into the store blindly and just trying to figure out what you need on the fly. And I also am a big proponent of starting a business, because starting a business doesn't always mean that you have to go into that business full time. Most of the time when you start a business, it's going to take a little bit of time to grow. And while you're growing your business on the side, it can actually provide a pretty meaningful amount of passive income, anywhere from $500 to $1,000, while you're still working your day job. So by starting a business as a side hustle, you actually could potentially be doubling your monthly income, or at least adding an extra $500 to $1,000 to your monthly income, simply by taking the step and taking some sort of action. I know I use a content creation example in this video. However, you can start a business with pretty much anything nowadays. You can start a lawnmower business, a car washing business, a city cleanup business, whatever you think may have some demand in your area. You may absolutely be able to take advantage of that and start a very profitable side hustle. But if you want to keep your money a little bit safer and you don't want to spend it starting a business, what the next thing that you can do with your $1,000 is keep it in a savings account as an emergency fund. Now, I know I talked about using your Roth IRA as an emergency fund in this video. However, some people are a little bit more conservative and they don't want to actually invest the money that they have in their savings account. And I completely understand, because as you save your first $1,000, it may be difficult to part with that $1,000 in the very beginning. And if you want to keep it safe, having a $1,000 emergency fund would put you above 90% of Americans in terms of being able to cover a major expense in the event of an emergency. Now, when I learned that most Americans can't cover a $500 expense, that was one of the first points in my life that really led me to learning about financial education. Because most of the time, our parents had to figure out financial education on their own, because their parents haven't taught them, and their grandparents had to figure it out on their own, because the topic of money seems to be very taboo in most families, and not many families actually talk about it or actually teach their children what the right and wrong thing to do with their money. So a lot of the times, 18 to 21-year-olds are just thrown out to the world with a pat on the back saying, good luck, figure it out, and let's see how well you do. And by watching videos like this and by actually building your emergency fund earlier, you will be more financially secure than most Americans who have never learned the proper ways of managing their money. And then lastly, what you can do once you have $1,000 in the bank is actually going to be by investing in S&P 500 index funds. Now on this channel, I am a big proponent of index funds, because I believe that investing in itself should be a very passive activity. You should not be stressed out in any sense once you invest. You should want to invest more, and invest as consistently as possible without worrying if your money goes up and down on a day-to-day basis. If you are constantly checking your portfolio, or if you're constantly worried about the value of your portfolio, then you shouldn't necessarily be investing in the first place, because the whole point of investing your money is to invest it over a long period of time so that it can grow on average at an 8% interest rate year over year. If you are taking money out of your portfolio all the time, then you will not be taking advantage of compound interest, and you may be better off just leaving it in your checking account, because only investing it for 3 to 6 months at a time will not benefit you in the slightest in terms of long-term wealth building. So my avenue personally of investing is through S&P 500 index funds. You don't have to use that same avenue, as this is not financial advice. This is just some guy talking to a camera on YouTube. However, I do think that that is the most passive and most consistent form of investing your money for growth that there is out there right now. However, if you found any kind of value in this video, then tap that like button for your boy, and also go down to the description where if you sign up to the public app, they will give you a free stock as a courtesy from me to you just for signing up. Now, you may have to deposit like 5 cents or $5 at this point. It used to be that you didn't have to deposit anything, but nowadays you may have to deposit a little bit of money. However, if you do, you're still able to get a free stock in that case. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.